Okay, welcome to your second PHP tutorial, or kind of the first, but because last one we explained HTML, which will be what's behind it. So let's just set up a basic HTML page so that I can start showing you the PHP. So inside our body is where you put a special tag, and this is different than other tags because it's a PHP tag. And so lesson question mark PHP, and then to close it question mark greater than, and then everything inside this area is now PHP. So if I typed in that, it would not work. It would just glitch out, and it would just crash the website basically. It wouldn't quite crash it, but the page wouldn't load correctly. So in this tutorial, I'm going to go with one of the most simple, or I'm going to start with one of the most simple, and maybe if there's time I'll go on to even more, but this is the very, very simple stuff we're going to start with. So PHP, you write lines of code. Obviously this is an actual lines of code. Then you put a semicolon after the end of each line of code. And what this tells the computer is that that's the end of this line, because it doesn't recognize enter as a new line in PHP. So you have to put a semicolon. And so what we're going to do is we want to print something out to the screen using PHP. So you can literally print anything out, and so what you do to print out something to the screen is you say echo. Then what you want to print in either these quotations or these. And there's a difference between those, and I'll get to that in a second. For now, I'm just going to use the single quotes. And I'll say, hello, this is an echo statement. So that doesn't look spelled right, but oh well. And then you put a semicolon to tell PHP that that's the end of the line. So what that's going to do is that's going to output this onto the screen. So it says, hello, this is an echo statement. And if we view what the user gets, is it doesn't get the PHP text, it just gets this, because PHP is a server-side script. So that's basically how you echo something. You can echo literally anything. You don't have to put numbers in these, and that's because there's different types of. We'll get to that in probably when we do variables. But if you're just doing numbers, you don't actually have to. Whoops. You do have to put the semicolon, but you don't have to put the quotes. And I'll get to why that is the case in the next tutorial. But so basically, what I'm showing you is you can echo. And when you're echoing stuff, you could say, I want to echo hello. And then if you put a dot, and there's a lot of things that this dot will work with, and I'll tell you as we go along. And then you could put more stuff, and let's do double quotes this time. My name is someone 99992. And what that dot's doing is it's basically saying echo this and echo. So basically, if you forget that echo statement for a second, those dots say combine this with this and this and this. So it's combining all these words that we have. Now, when you put something in between quotes, it's called a string. So that's a string, that's a string, that's a string, that's a string because it's between quotes, and that's a number, or an integer, or a float. There's different names for everything, but just know that when it's in between quotes, it's a string. And basically, you can put two strings together by using a period. So that's an echo statement. So you can echo tons of really cool stuff with it. So it's basically like typing hello outside of the PHP like that. It would be the equivalent of PHP would be echo hello. Now this is where it can get a bit tricky. Say you want to echo a tag, such as we'll do font, and we want to change the color, and we use double quotes for this echo statement, but the color we're going to use double quotes for the HTML. Well, what you do is you do I guess that's a backslash, and then you do the double quotes so that it doesn't end the string, and then you can do red, and again backslash, double quotes, and then hello font, and then let's add a new line. What that will do is say hello in red, and then hello again in black. See? And if we look at the page source, those backslashes don't appear because that's telling PHP this is still part of the string. This double quote is not part. This is not saying end the statement or begin a new string. Sorry, end the string or begin a new string. It's saying this is part of what we want to output. So that can be very awesome to use, very useful. And you know what? I think I'm running out of time, so I'll get to. I'm gonna say if statements, but I'll do variables next.